You remember the first time you made macaroni and cheese? Maybe it was a blue box, or maybe it was a family recipe. It was simple. It was comfort. It was a bowl of pure, unadulterated joy. But here's the truth. That memory is a lie. While you've been chasing that nostalgic taste, the macaroni industry has been systematically stripping the soul out of your dinner. They've replaced tradition with Teflon, flavor with filler, and quality with corporate cost-cutting. They are betting that you won't read the ingredients list, that you won't notice the subtle, sad difference between a noodle that holds its shape and one that dissolves into a starchy, sad puddle. We're not just talking about a slight difference in taste. We're talking about a fundamental betrayal of texture, flavor, and the very structure of your meal. The macaroni you buy is either a culinary foundation that grabs sauce like Velcro, or a smooth, shiny, plastic-like tube that lets your cheese sauce slide right off, pooling at the bottom of the bowl in a greasy orange disappointment. So, let's talk about the 6 macaroni brands that are either stealing your money and destroying your dinner, or are actually worth the space in your cart. We're exposing the enriched flour, the cheap dyes, and the corporate shell games that turn a simple meal into a tragedy. Smash that subscribe button because we're about to save you from some seriously depressing macaroni disasters. We start with the robbers, the brands that are robbing you blind, and coming in at number 6 is the generic store brand Elbow Macaroni. At roughly 89 cents per pound, this is the siren song of the budget aisle, the cheapest option on the market, and it's a masterclass in how to turn wheat into regret. The ingredient list is a red flag waving in the wind. Enriched macaroni product, which is code for we took all the good stuff out and then added back a few synthetic vitamins to legally call it enriched. The core issue is the flour. It's not the hard, high-protein durum wheat semolina that gives pasta its structural integrity, but a softer, cheaper wheat flour that is milled to death. Cook it and watch your water turn instantly cloudy and milky. This is the starch rapidly leaching out, a clear sign that the noodle is disintegrating before your eyes. There is no al dente window. The texture goes from hard to mushy in about 45 seconds, and the mouthfeel is simultaneously chalky and gummy, like chewing on a piece of wet cardboard. It's a noodle that actively fights against your sauce, releasing so much starch that it thickens your cheese sauce into a gluey, pasty mess. One online reviewer perfectly captured the experience. It's like eating a bowl of beige paste. The texture is so wrong, it makes the whole dish taste cheap, even if you use good cheese. The manufacturers know you're making a desperate decision at 5:30 p.m. They're betting you'll grab the cheapest box without realizing you're buying a structural failure. And the bottom line is this: macaroni is the culinary equivalent of a single-use plastic bag. It serves its purpose briefly, then collapses into an environmental and digestive disaster. Moving on to number 5, we find Barilla Elbows, specifically the US-made version, in that iconic blue box. It's everywhere. It's the default. And that is precisely the problem, because Barilla is the McDonald's of the pasta world. Aggressively mediocre, trading entirely on a powerful brand name and Italian heritage that its American-made product no longer honors. While the ingredients list does say durum wheat semolina, the deception lies in the process, as this pasta is extruded through Teflon dyes, not the traditional bronze dyes. Teflon is fast, cheap, and creates a perfectly smooth, shiny surface, and this smoothness is the enemy of a good macaroni dish. Think of it this way. A smooth Teflon-cut noodle is like a freshly waxed car. Your sauce, whether it's a simple butter and cheese or a complex ragu, hits that surface and slides right off. It can't penetrate, it can't cling, and the result is a macaroni that is separate from its sauce, not integrated with it. You end up with a mouthful of bland noodle followed by a spoonful of sauce, and at $1.79 to $2.50 per pound, you are paying a premium for brand recognition, not quality. Chef Isabella Rossi, speaking on the difference, once said, "Barilla is like a beautiful photograph of a meal. It looks right, but it has no soul, no texture, no grip." They have convinced millions of Americans that this smooth, shiny, sauce-repelling noodle is what good pasta should be. and it is a triumph of marketing over mouthfeel, with the most devastating part being that they've set the bar so low that consumers don't even know what they're missing. Our fourth brand that is robbing you blind is Muller's Elbow Macaroni. Muller's, like many legacy American brands, is a ghost trading on memories. Founded in 1867, it was once a source of pride, a staple of the Italian-American kitchen, but after multiple corporate acquisitions, the accountants took over. Check the ingredients list carefully, because while Muller's maintained a decent standard for years, recent shifts have seen a subtle yet devastating change. While they still use semolina in some lines, their standard elbow macaroni often features a blend that prioritizes cost over quality. The texture is soft and slightly mushy, even when cooked al dente, and the taste is aggressively bland, neutral to the point of being forgettable. The real industry secret here is the drying process. Traditional high-quality macaroni is dried slowly, sometimes for over 24 hours, at low temperatures, which preserves the nutty flavor of the wheat and ensures the starch molecules set correctly. Muller's, like many mass-market brands, uses industrial heat to dry their pasta in a fraction of the time, and this high-heat, rapid-dry process essentially cooks the pasta before you even put it in the water, destroying the subtle wheat flavor and guaranteeing a softer, less resilient final product. Reviews post-2015 show a clear decline, with complaints like, "It falls apart in the pot, and they change the recipe." And this is what happens when a pasta company is bought by a food conglomerate that decides a few hours of drying time and a few cents on the flour blend are more important than the integrity of the final product. They are banking on your nostalgia to overcome the taste. Now we move to the winners, the brands that are worth the money. And number 3 is Rao's Homemade Elbow Macaroni. Now we're talking about a brand that understands the assignment. Rao's, while famous for its sauces, has quietly become one of the best mass-market macaroni brands you can buy. And at $2.50 to $3.50 per pound, it delivers the best value in the mid-price range. Unlike the Teflon-cut imposters, Rao's macaroni is made with 100% durum wheat semolina and, crucially, is extruded through bronze dies. You can see the difference the moment you pull a noodle from the box. It has a matte, slightly dusty, almost chalky appearance, and if you run your thumb across an uncooked strand, you will feel a subtle roughness, like very fine sandpaper. This roughness is not a flaw. It is the secret weapon, because the bronze die process creates microscopic ridges and pores on the surface of the macaroni, and when you cook it, this rough surface acts like Velcro, grabbing and holding onto your sauce. Whether you're making a simple mac and cheese or a baked casserole, the sauce doesn't just coat the noodle, it integrates with it. Rao's succeeds by focusing on the fundamentals, quality ingredients, and the correct manufacturing process. It's the reliable, high-performance sedan of the macaroni world, not the flashiest, but it gets the job done without drama and with exceptional results, and the cooking community on forums often calls it the gateway pasta. The first brand that makes people realize their old blue box was a lie. Our number 2 winner is De Cecco Elbow Macaroni. Imported from Italy, De Cecco is the brand that makes you understand what you've been missing. Founded in 1886, it remains family-controlled and has never compromised its recipe or process, and at $3 to $4.50 per pound, this is the authentic Italian experience. The difference is immediate. The ingredient list is simple: 100% durum wheat semolina. That's it. No enriched flour, no fillers, and the macaroni is bronze cut, giving it that signature rough texture. Cook it for the recommended 9 to 10 minutes, and you will experience what actual al dente means. It's not just not mushy, it has a substantial bite, a real resistance before your teeth break through, and a springy texture that maintains its integrity even after sitting in a sauce. The rough surface grabs sauce so effectively that every single strand carries its full share of flavor. But here is the real secret of De Cecco Mountain Spring Water. De Cecco uses water from the Magella mountain range, which is low in mineral content, and this pure water is essential because it allows the gluten in the semolina to develop slowly and evenly, resulting in a stronger, more resilient noodle. This is a detail that mass-market brands simply ignore. Diceco positions itself perfectly as affordable premium. They let food snobs and Italian chefs do their marketing for free. And the difference between this and the generic store brand is like comparing a freshly brewed espresso to instant coffee. If you're finding this ranking useful, smash that like button. It helps us test more products you actually care about. And finally, number 1, the undisputed champion, Rusticella d'Abruzzo Macaroni. At $5.50 to $7 per pound. This is not your Tuesday night mac and cheese. This is what you buy when you want to understand what macaroni can be when made without compromise. This is the Ferrari of the pasta world. The package often arrives wrapped in paper, and the uncooked macaroni looks almost hand-hewn, with a visible dramatic roughness. The bronze dye texture feels like a cat's tongue covered in microscopic hooks. The ingredient list is a testament to purity organic durum. Wheat, semolina, and water, that's all. Cook it for exactly 9 minutes and experience macaroni as it was meant to be. It has a bread-like density, a substantial resistance when you bite down, and a nutty, terroir-driven flavor that makes the pasta a star, not just a vessel. The secret is the slow-drying process. Rusticella d'Abruzzo dries their pasta for up to 50 hours at low temperatures, and this slow process is expensive and time-consuming. But it is the key to preserving the wheat's complex flavor profile and creating that genuinely special, porous texture. The porous surface doesn't just hold sauce, it allows the sauce to penetrate the noodle itself. Make a simple cacio e pepe, and the olive oil and cheese integrate into the pasta's core. Chef Matt Harden explains, at this level, you're not just buying a noodle, you're buying a piece of agricultural art. Is it 4 to 6 times better than the generic store brand? Maybe not, but you are paying for small batch quality, organic ingredients, and a traditional process that respects the wheat. Smart customers know this is for simple preparations where the macaroni is the star, not for heavy sauces where the flavor is dominated. This is what Italian grandmothers mean when they say pasta should have character. So, here's what just happened. We took 6 boxes of macaroni and exposed every lie the industry has been telling you. Enriched flour pretending to be semolina. Teflon shortcuts dressed up as tradition. High heat drying that destroys flavor. From the generic store brand at under $1 to Rusticella d'Abruzzo at $7, that's the difference between eating starch-shaped failure and finally understanding what all the Italian obsession is about. If you're on a tight budget, Rouse gives you real quality and the crucial bronze dye texture under $3 per pound. But if you want authentic Italian, Diceco is your starting line. Hit subscribe if this changed how you'll shop for macaroni, and drop a comment telling us which brand you think we ranked wrong or which one we should test next. Your dinner deserves better than lies in a cheap box.